Alright guys, so here we have our 2023 IS500 and the molten orange, and man, or molten pearl. It looks beautiful. So I have some clips I'm going to show you guys. Obviously it's a little hot today, so I'm hiding out in the shade. But yeah, just going to do a quick little review in Topher style. The audio won't be as good as his. I am still learning. But yeah, here it is. Let's take her for a drive. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. And I get tons of compliments, people breaking their necks, you know. You don't see this color too often, but yeah, so purchased this car, I would say 3-4 months ago. Can't remember the exact time frame, but purchased it for my wife. I will be making a video as to how that happened, because she is not a car person, but she loves this car. So as you guys can see, it does have 2,500 miles. Those are not all from me. The majority of them are from her, as it is her car. So the car is still fresh to me, still new, still enjoying it. And it is like nothing else. So this car, where does it lie as far as category competition? So from my understanding, it's supposed to be a competitor against like the S5, the M340i, but it gives you that feeling. Let me close this. It gives you that feeling as if you're in something more special, you know, like an M series, like an actual M, my Type R. Yeah, you just feel special when driving this car. Now I know a lot of people complain about the infotainment system, it being outdated, whatever their complaints are. But before I continue, let's put in Sport Plus and let's rip it through here if there's no people. So I'm gonna pass this guy, put her in manual mode. It doesn't have the best tires on it, but it does still handle amazing. Space in between us. Like I was saying, you know, where it lies in this competition. I've driven a 340i. I have not driven the new ones, the M340i's, but I've driven a 340i. I've been in an S5, driven one as well, S4, all that stuff, and a C43, which she used to own one of those. And yeah, as those are all really good cars. They're all fun in their own way, unique characteristics, you know, different tastes for different people. Out of every one of those, this was the first one where I just feel special driving it, if that makes any sense. Not only is it the color, and just a little backstory on that color, there was only 149. Originally it was supposed to be 150. I could be wrong on this, but 149 of these molten pearls left due to someone, I guess, in crashing the first one, or something happened with one of them. But so that's special thing number one. It also has a V8 in it. So if you're familiar with the IS platform, it's you know, the V6, but the IS500 comes with this V8, and when I say it is amazing, it might not be the craziest, the fastest car, it is still plenty of quick. I guess if you're coming from fast cars, you won't really think that this is fast. Like, it's still quick, but the noises it makes, the feeling it gives you, it's naturally aspirated V8. Like you can't beat those. I've driven all types of cars. Like I said, I have a Honda Civic currently, Type R. That's a little four banger. I've driven twin turbo V6. I've driven, I used to own a Mach 1. I had a 2018 Mustang. Like, I've driven a little bit of everything, and this is just special. Even more so than my Mach 1 with the Coyote. Even though that motor is amazing in its own right, the noise it makes, it just sounds so clean, so pure. And all that's done to this is exhaust tips. So there's no catback exhaust, no nothing. It still has a resonator, still has the 2 primary cats, or however many cats it has. And I've heard them with headers, I've heard them with just the catback, and both of them just sound intoxicating. They sound amazing. And I'm itching to do it. I'm itching to get one. The only issue I'm running into is the cost. So since this is such a unique car, there's only so many manufacturers that are making parts for it, but with those products, it's usually these high-end companies, companies that I'm really not too familiar with, other than like Tom's, and they're charging $3,000 for axle back. Like, that is absurd. That's ridiculous. $3,200 for an axle back. I've seen some of these exhausts go up to 10 grand for the full, like, just catback. This doesn't even include headers. This is catback with a little valve system, and I'm just like, wow, like, it's just crazy to me. But yeah, we got a little stoppage here. But as far as the car goes, how does it drive? How does it feel? How is everything about it going? It's amazing. It is so smooth. It is so quiet in the inside. It eats up bumps. It's like polar opposite from my Type R. You know, it's a soft, easygoing car. But when you throw it into Sport Plus, you know, the steering gets heavier, and it just is that much more responsive. And yeah, it's really, it's just unique in how this car, like, was built, how it is. Tame, cruising, like, just soft, like, luxury sedan, to just an animal when you step on the gas. It's amazing. I'm loving every bit of it, and I'm excited to see, you know, how it's gonna sound in person when I do decide to, you know, do the headers or the catback. The only reason I don't think I will do the headers is just due to the fact that it is her car. So I'm not trying to make her drive around a full race car. You know, I don't want her to have to deal with that. But if this was mine, I would already have headers and catback. Like, that's a given. This car comes stock with the BBS wheels. I do know a lot of people do change them out. I actually like the styling of them. I am going to change out these tires though. Yeah. So I'm gonna look into some different tires for this, you know, some different options. But other than that, you know, it's not gonna be too much in detail about this car. Okay. So other things about this car, these seats. Everything about the interior is just awesome. It is a little small, not for the driver or the passenger, but the rear seats are not the biggest. I am 6'5", and she fits behind me just fine. This seat is pretty far back, and I'm still comfortable. You know, everything feels really, really good. The steering wheel, just everything you touch is just high quality. And you know, this is my first Lexus, so I'm assuming that that's a Lexus thing. I'm not really sure. This is the one brand that I've just always heard positive things about, and I just never explored myself. The infotainment, I have no issues with it. It's Apple CarPlay. Everything works just fine. I'm in the boonies, basically, so I'm not gonna really have service, as you can see. So I think this is more than enough screen. I don't think there's an issue with, like, you know, the new M340 has the screen that comes all the way across. I don't necessarily have an issue with it. I just don't need it. I don't know. So maybe if you've been in Lexuses before, this is no surprise to you. You're probably tired of seeing it. But for someone that this is my first Lexus, it's plenty of perfect for me. This is touchscreen, and it's very, very responsive. It's smooth. And then you also have the little touchpad down here. Does the same thing. I catch myself doing both. I think I forced myself to use the touchpad. One, I don't like fingerprints. And two, just because I have it, I want to use it. But it is so smooth. You get the little vibration in your finger when you hover over an app. Like, Everything about this is awesome. Quick little menu button, go back to the map, like you have, everything is here. So like I said, I have no issues with it. I think it's plenty good enough. And yeah, so that's that for the infotainment. Gas mileage. As you can see, I need gas. That is a thing with this car. And it's not horrible. When she's driving, she's getting anywhere from, you know, 23 to 25 miles to the gallon. I don't think that's bad for what you have. When I'm driving, I'm getting anywhere from 18 to 20. I have a V8, I want to hear it, so I'm constantly doing that. Everything has been super smooth, haven't had any issues. I mean, I would hope not. It's a brand new vehicle. We got it with literally 1 mile on the clock. I think it was 2 miles actually. Brand new, front got PPF'd, windows tinted. And other than that, just exhaust tips, and that's it. You know, I'm enjoying the car as is. I don't have any complaints. I don't have any issues with it. But in order for something to be this smooth, in order for something to have this capability of just being able, like a Grand Tourer almost, you have to sacrifice that sharpness. So it still handles really, really well. But no, it is not a Type R, but it's no slouch either. Let's see if we can find some open stretch of road and show you guys what this thing actually does. Let's get it. Intoxicating. Just sounds so amazing. The brakes on this thing, insane. It's just hovering speed. It's just, it eats it up. And like I said, the tires that are on here are trash, and it's still doing this. So I can't imagine how it's gonna handle whenever I put some good tires on here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in manual. One thing I do know that people complained about was the transmission. I get it, you know, 50-50. A lot of people don't like the transmission. They say it's slouchy, it's notchy, whatever. When I first got in the car, after owning it, I was worried. You know, because it did feel like clunky, and I was like, you know, maybe it just needs to go through the break-in, maybe it's gonna get better, and it did. It does get better, it gets smoother, and the biggest thing that I've noticed is you just have to let the transmission warm up. So if you're driving, you know, to work, something simple, and you have it in normal mode, you're not gonna notice anything. But if you take the car out, you know, the engine warms up faster than this transmission does. If you start beating on it and the transmission hasn't warmed up, it will be a little clunky. There's nothing wrong with it. That is just how, that's a characteristic of the transmission. Once you warm it up, this thing is just fine. I click, it goes down, like instantly. It's down, it's down. I don't have any issues with it at all. And the upshifts on this with the noise it makes, oh my God. It gives you goosebumps. Like, this thing is just awesome. I'm loving every second of it. So yeah, that is you know, my little wannabe Topher review of the car. I'm gonna enjoy some of these back roads, do a little ripping, and you know, the speed limit of course. Sitting here in Mexico and buttfuck nowhere, so. Stop.
Lexus IS500 F Sport performance sedan, manual shift mode on road. Here we go. Smoke them if you got them. Yeah. Woo.
And go. Jesus.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Those downshifts. Oh my God. Back to being a tame beast, you know? It's insane that you get this out of a car. Traction control stopping me. Alright guys, well that's enough for today. I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe so I can do more things like this. And if any of you guys have a cool car, cool build, and you want me to review it, by all means, I'm so down. If you're in the San Diego area, even LA, I will make the drive. So, all right, that's enough for today. Light Skin Poppy out. Peace out, y'all.